I'm live for the first time in a while. Just thought I would come on here. Let's see who gets on with me. Hello. We got somebody here. Feel free to say hi in the comments. In the chat. It's been so long since I've been on here. On live, actually. I am going to start doing more vlogs, so be on the lookout for those. I think people really enjoy the vlogs, so I'm going to pick it back up. Hello, hello. Hi, guys. Say hi to me in the chat. Wait, is anybody, how do I see, let's see. I don't want to touch something because I might mess it up. But anyway, say hi. Make sure you guys hit the like button when you come in so more people can come and chat with us. I don't really have anything to talk about. I just wanted to chat live and, see if you guys wanted to ask me any questions or if you had anything you wanted to chat with me about. Thank you for the like. You guys are the best. Can you press 1 or something in the chat, like if you can hear me, just to make sure that this is being heard? Hi, thank you so much, Skull. Appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Yeah, guys, write something in the chat. Let's talk. I don't really have like a topic that I want to cover. Just wanted to come and say hi and see if you guys had any questions for me or, just wanted to talk. That's what I'm here for. Make sure you push like so that we can get more people in here on the live. It's been a while, so. I don't have a boyfriend, but I have a husband. I think you already know that. That's what all the smiley faces are for. Funny. Hello, everyone who just joined the live. Thank you, guys. I know. That's funny. You were joking. Thank you. I do appreciate the compliment, though. Thank you very much. How are you guys enjoying Kremt, the rainy season? Where are you? Are you guys watching from Ethiopia or other parts of the world? Let me know down below in the chat. Thank you, Skull. Appreciate it. Oh, Spain. Okay, nice. Is it daytime there or evening time? Okay. Daytime in Spain, it is about 6:37 here in the evening in Ethiopia. Welcome, everyone. Join us in the chat. Hit the like button. Yeah, Ethiopia. You must not be subscribed to my channel because the whole channel is about Ethiopia. Hi, Zema Tube 77. How are you? Memories, etc. I enjoy your real estate related videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I think some people like the real estate. Some people like, you know, the vlogs showing the city, stuff like that. So I'm gonna try and do a mix of both. But thank you, I appreciate it. Memories, etc. Do you live in Ethiopia or somewhere else? The Shim Shocker. Hi, how are you? Julie Love. Oh, hey, how are you? Thank you so much for the love. Love to you as well. Okay. School, you want to visit Addis Ababa? I definitely recommend it. You should visit. I don't think the flight is that far either from Spain. Right now it's rainy season, so it's cold throughout most of the day, but definitely you can come and visit. There's lots to see, lots of museums, lots of fun things in Addis. The Shim Shocker, you said I'm gonna like? Gonna like what? Thank you guys for joining the live. Oh, you're gonna like the live? I hope so. I don't really have that much to talk about. I just wanted to see if people would come on here and had questions or just kind of wanted to talk to me. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. It'll be more enjoyable if you ask questions or, you know, make conversation. Yes, Julie Love, I totally agree. Ethiopia is a wonderful country. The people, the food, the weather, yes, very nice place. I like it. Oh, okay. Memories, etc. Thank you so much for that feedback about the authenticity of my videos and adding background music. So I would do that, except like if you add music to videos on YouTube, sometimes you get like copyright strike. If you know a way that I can do it without getting copyright, let me know, because I think music does add a nice touch. Oh, how's life in Addis? That's from Gene C. Jr. Did I say that right? Life in Addis is good. I think, as I was saying earlier, it's rainy season, so it's kind of cold, but life here is enjoyable. I think the number one things that make it even more enjoyable is if you know, have your own house to live in or have like a good source of income, you can live a really good life in Addis. But the weather's nice, the people are great, so yeah, I'm enjoying it. Are you from Ethiopia? Gene C. Jr. or John C. Jr.? Or are you just interested to know what life in Addis is like? Oh, okay. You're from Europe. Very nice. You should come visit. I don't know if you guys heard the news, but foreigners are now allowed to purchase property in Ethiopia, whereas before that was not permitted. So come visit, come check it out. If you like it, maybe buy a property. Hey, beautiful. Hey. That is, oh, I know you. Palesa Mogorosi. Hopefully I pronounced that right. You're from South Africa, and I love you so much. I love you too. The boys are doing really well. Thank you so much. For those who don't know, we have 3 sons. I am married. My husband's Ethiopian, and we do have 3 boys. The oldest is 10, second is 6, and the third one is 4. Okay, you are interested in Ethiopia. Wonderful. I definitely recommend it. I'm so happy I got to see it before, and I can't wait to see it now. Yes, definitely. Oh yeah, I think Julie, you mentioned that you're coming back for a visit soon. So I don't know when was the last time you've been in Ethiopia or in Addis Ababa, but a lot has changed. How is Ethiopia compared to Kenya or Tanzania? So I have not personally been to Kenya or Tanzania, but I do know people who have. And so a good friend of mine who also does have a YouTube channel came to visit Ethiopia, and he's Black American but living in Tanzania with his family. And he said that Addis Ababa is much more developed than what it is in Tanzania. But then on the flip side, Tanzania has the beach, with Zanzibar and stuff like that. So Ethiopia is landlocked. So it just depends on what you're looking for. But Ethiopia is a beautiful country, very green, especially during the rainy season. And yeah, the food is good. So yeah, I don't know how. I think Kenya, like Nairobi, compared to Addis, I think they both might be similar in terms of development, at least now. Addis is growing and expanding, so you'll definitely have to come and visit both, or all three. Oh, Julie, you're coming next month. Okay. 4 years ago. Oh, yeah. So it's going to be totally different from 4 years ago. For sure. You're in Africa and haven't traveled? So, yeah, that does kind of seem surprising, right? But yeah, so I'm here. I've traveled around Ethiopia a lot. And I do plan to venture out a little bit more, especially to Kenya and Tanzania since they're close. And then maybe the west of Africa at some point too. Okay, good. I pronounced your name correctly. Oh yeah, I would love. Oh yeah, that's another place I have to go. South Africa. I've heard it's really beautiful, for sure. What part? Okay, let me see. You would love the vibrant vibe of Johannesburg and scenic landscapes of Cape Town. Beautiful. I've heard really amazing things about Cape Town and Johannesburg. The only thing is that in Joburg, is it safe? I know people always ask that about Africa, but just like in terms of crime, I've heard that Johannesburg can be like similar to New York City. So, but yeah, I would love to visit. Ethiopia is definitely my favorite. For sure. Julie, have you visited other African countries? I'd like to hear, your thoughts on how Ethiopia compares to other countries, even anybody, for that matter. And I'd love to hear your experience. I hear not many people speak English in Ethiopia. Is that true? I would say that is true compared to other African countries. You will find people here that speak English, but it's not the national language. And people do learn it in school, but if you're not practicing it, obviously you lose language, and that goes for anybody, right? If you don't practice it, you forget, or you don't maybe feel as confident, which I find is more of the issue here. Not so much that Ethiopians don't speak English. I find a lot of people do speak English, but I think sometimes they may feel a little bit hesitant to do so because they just don't practice as much, and so maybe they don't feel confident. Hi, honey.
Oh.
I'm on live.
Oh.
Do you want to say hi? Okay.
How many people do you have?
We got 10 people so far. Come on, you guys, hit the like button. Get more people here in the room with us. Do you guys want to see my husband? Do you want him to come say hi? Only if we get 5 more likes. Okay, Palesa said Johannesburg is definitely notorious for crime. Yeah, I see. And I won't lie, however, it's mostly in low-income, poor areas. The majority of the city is safe and beautiful. Okay, so it's like any other major city, right? Babe, don't go. Say hi, and then you can go. But yeah, I agree. It's worth the experience, for sure. Oh, we got 7. 3 more likes. He's right here, guys. Just kidding. He'll say hi anyways.
Hello, everyone.
There he is.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, so Johannesburg, they're telling us to visit South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Hello, brother. Said hello.
Hello, how you doing, man?
Habesha Media, Ethiopia is safe. Not worried about Police? What do you mean police? Did I say police?
Like
I do.
parole.
Ethiopia is safe. Addis is safe for sure. Not Uber. Oh, okay. Is that something about American police?
I believe so.
Outside.
Oh, Ethiopia is safe. Yeah, no worry
Great,
about
thank you.
police.
Outside said great, thank you. Because you said how are you doing?
Oh.
Nice. You don't have to stay if you don't want.
They call him.
He's entertaining the kids right now. I think they're playing video games.
Yeah, we're playing Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so anyways, what other questions you guys have or comments? I have eaten at a South African restaurant in New York, though. I know that doesn't count as visiting, but the food was amazing. I think the white stuff that you guys eat, is it called pop? Am I right about that? And I ate it with some, I think it was lamb or goat or something like that. It was really good. Let's see. Habesha Media. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Habesha Media. Thank you. I'm Seganalo. I do speak some Amharic, but I'm not going to embarrass myself on here by trying to do too much. How's the house project going on? Good question. Oh, hi sis. Indinish, Dinanish? Dinaning Jabiri Meskin. I saw your live, by the way. You inspired me to do this. So the house project is going well. We're building a G+2 house, for those of you who don't know. And we have reached, the roof is done. So all the ground level, first and second level are done. The roof is done. And then all the exterior walls and interior partitions are finished. So right now we are at the point of doing like the finishing, which is the most expensive part. So we're kind of on hold right now. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get it done. We're doing this all out of our own pocket. We haven't taken a loan or done anything like that. So pray for us, guys, that we can finish it. Your channel's growing so much, Abigail. You're doing great. Keep going, Berchi. Make sure you guys go like and subscribe to her channel as well. She's our Ethiopian sister. Doing a great job over there on her channel. Tafam? Allo, I'll tafam. Allo lesh nati. Okay, we'll pray for you guys. God bless you. Thank you. Dane Thomas, thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless you as well, too. I subscribed after watching one of your videos selling houses, but you never really go live, though. I know, this is my first time in a while, so I just decided to come on here. Thank you so much for subscribing, though. Appreciate it. Habesha Media said, I like what you are doing about sharing apartments and housing options in Addis. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I was saying earlier, I'm going to try and do a mix of like real estate content as well as vlogs, because I think, not everybody likes or not that they don't like it, but I don't think, everybody needs to find a housing or apartments. But I'm gonna try and mix it up. And especially for, I think, Ethiopian diaspora or other people who are looking to invest in Ethiopia or relocate here, I think it's helpful to kind of show the options, the areas, the type of housing that's available. Because when we moved here 2 years ago and we were online looking for rental places, it was kind of hard to find things. And then like the houses that we saw online, in person it may not look like that, or it might not actually be available. So I'm trying to give an idea for those people who want to move here. Okay, KE said, I was planning on visiting Ethiopia soon. How is it there? Is it safe for Black Americans, or is it still going on? Oh, this is my Black American brother or sister. Okay, so Ethiopia is great. I love living here. I live here with my Ethiopian husband and our 3 children. Um, Addis is very safe at this time. There's, you know, like any other major city, it's lively, vibrant. Of course, you know, there are good neighborhoods and some that aren't great. And, you know, I think crime in the city is relatively low, but it still exists, just like any other major city. It is safe for Black Americans. It's safe for anybody. I think as Black Americans, you don't stand out maybe as much as other foreigners might when they come. So if you act like a local and kind of, you know, play it cool, lay low, people don't bother you, you know. But you will still stand out, just maybe not as much as other types of foreigners. So yeah, I definitely recommend coming to Addis. So outside of Addis, the southern part of Ethiopia is safe. We've traveled to Arba Minch, which is a city that is about, how long was it? Like an hour and a half flight outside of Addis Ababa or something like that. So it's safe there. Beautiful lakes and obviously like springs, lots of greenery, forests, stuff like that, and nice resorts there. It's a good place to visit. Deborah Zeit, or Bishoftu is the other name for it, is another excellent place to visit. And again, lakes, resorts, all of that is there. Hawassa, there's several places that you can go outside of Addis that are safe, so I do recommend coming. And then from Ethiopia, if you haven't already, you can visit Kenya, Tanzania. Other places are nearby as well. Especially as a Black American, I think that, you know, it's good for us to come over here to the continent and kind of see what's happening here, since we have been lied to, you know? Okay, who is this? Ade Joker said, hello, princess. It's good to see you both again. I have a question for you. Is it exaggeration or the cost of living is going up every day? First of all, hi. Thank you for joining the live. So the cost of living in Addis is high, but it's relative. So if you're living abroad, like in Europe or the US or something like that, food and just the general cost of living is lower in Addis. But if you're living in Addis and earning in Birr, it's very expensive for locals. The most expensive things here are rent, and in terms of cost of living, rent is and if you have children, school fees. Those are the most expensive things. Food, local transportation, what else is there? I don't know. But those things aren't too expensive. If you're going to buy property, like land or a house, that's also expensive compared to other African countries. So Addis Ababa per capita is actually, I think, one of, if not the most expensive cities on the continent. So, but I wouldn't say things are going up every day. I think at this point, things have kind of leveled out. Okay, how is education for children compared to the West? Is public schools good enough, or do you need to go to private? You need to go private. There's no question about that. Public schools here, I would not recommend them, especially if you are coming as a foreigner and bringing your children, because the curriculum at the government school is taught in Amharic, If they're young enough, they can learn, but I think the quality of education is better in the private and international schools. So there are three groups of schools in Ethiopia: the government, which is the private sector, the local private schools, which are um, just private schools run by Ethiopians for the most part, and then international schools, which are probably have the best education and are the most expensive. Habasha Media said, do you think it's better to buy a house or build from scratch? It's definitely better to build your own house from scratch. Reason being, you can design it how you want, and it's much more cost effective. So to buy the land and build, a G+1 or G+2 house, it would probably cost you around maximum 18 million birr. Just, I mean, maybe not maximum, maybe average, but 18 million is a good estimate for maybe a G+2 house. If you're going to buy a G+2 house that's already finished, you get what you get in terms of design and quality, and two, the price is going to be somewhere between 20 to 30 million birr, depending on the location. So much more cost effective to build your own house here. But it depends on what you mean by better. So it's better in terms of the cost, but in terms of the amount of effort you have to put in, like building a house is not easy. We're doing it, and it's a lot of work. It is a lot of money if you're doing it out of your own pocket. It can be stressful depending on the type of contractor that you have. So if you just want something that's just easy and ready to go, definitely it's better to buy. So I hope that makes sense. Good job, guys. I'm happy. We have 17 people in the live and 10 likes. That's pretty good. Addis Ababa Real Estate Marketing and Consultancy said hi. Hi. Oh, okay. That whole thing is the name. Addis Ababa Real Estate Marketing and Consultancy. Hello. Observer, can you buy land in Ethiopia? Technically, no. So the land itself belongs to the government of Ethiopia and the people of Ethiopia. So you can purchase an empty lot, but there are certain rules to how you do that. So I think the person, maybe it's a farmer or whoever the previous owner is, or the government itself, can transfer ownership to you, and then you have to build a small structure on that lot. And then after that, once you build something on it, then you can sell it again or build your own house. So Ethiopia, when it comes to land, it's a 99-year lease for Ethiopians, of course. And then you can renew that lease at the end of the 99 years. Hope that answers your question. You're welcome, Habasha Media. Thank you so much, Adi Joker, for the super chat. I appreciate it. You guys are so lovely. Really, I love you guys. I have the best subscribers. Okay, oh, can I say this? Nunya Banez? Wait, I'm sorry. I don't know if I said that right, but forgive me. Are there lands to buy in Addis? How can we go about buying one? Okay, so land in Addis is getting very scarce. So it's hard to find a lot, like a empty lot in Addis at this time. So as you guys may have heard, they are, clearing out some areas and putting parks and real estate in place of neighborhoods, right? So unfortunately, land in Addis is really hard to get at this time, and the government is kind of pushing people towards apartment style living, since there's not as much land available in Addis Ababa as there used to be. So if you want to be inside of Addis, you can try and find land, but I think your best bet is to buy property that's already built. And your second best bet from there is a new city administration just around Addis Ababa called Shagar City. So Shaker City is not technically in Addis, but it's so close that it kind of is. It feels like it at least. So that is another good option, and there's plenty of land in that area to buy. And the way you would go about doing it is I would recommend coming in person, finding a local dalala or broker in the area that you want to buy, and then going through the process with them. But then be very careful and make like sure that the land is free and clear. You know, that it's only has one owner on it, and you know, because you don't want to get tangled into any land disputes. So that's the land situation. Okay, Observer said, thanks for the useful info. You're welcome. I hope you guys find this information helpful. You're welcome, sis. Nunya Benyez. Addis Ababa Real Estate Marketing and Consultancy said, you should buy a land with a small house. Land is not sold. Land in Ethiopia is owned by the government and citizens, right? Correct. Can you give a price range for the land in Sheger, Addis? I think at this time, on average, 200 kari or 200 square meters around Sheger is about 8 million birr, 8 to 9 million birr. That is a price range on average. I mean, I guess that's not a price, well, 8 to 9 million, yeah. And if you find somebody, a farmer or somebody who, you know, maybe needs to sell the land because they need the money, you could get a lower price. You know, they'd be more willing to negotiate. Where is the best platform or place to look for land with a small structure for sale? I don't have any to recommend. Unfortunately, land, I wouldn't honestly buy land or look for land online. Like I said, you have to come in person. Buying land can be tricky, and you don't want to get tied up in like legal battles for years. So if there is a platform that has land on it, just verify. Okay, Miss Fitsun. 23, Black American, plan on traveling to Africa in the near future. Your channel is inspiring me. Oh, thank you so much. Also love your hair. Thank you. I got it done here. Yes, the girls here in Ethiopia do excellent braids, and you should definitely visit. Let me know when you get here. Say hi. Well, if you come to Ethiopia, you said Africa, so maybe you want to go to a different country, but Ethiopia is cool. The Black Main. Hey, how are you? I'm from Adama, Nazareth, and we're experiencing I think it's supposed to say massive corridor development, which will end next year, and you need to come do vlogs and do us justice next year. Yes, I will be there. Okay, so the corridor project is supposed to end next year. Are you talking about 2026, like the Gregorian calendar, or are you talking about next year, the Ethiopian calendar, 2018, I think? Is that what we're coming up on? Let me know. I'll definitely come. I actually have a brother-in-law that lives there, so I'll come and do videos. Habesha Media said, can you talk about Hayat and CMC areas? Yes. Okay. Actually, I would love to talk about this. CMC is not far from where we live. So CMC and Summit are very close. I'm in that neighborhood all the time because I live not too far away from Summit. So there's the CMC roundabout, and Sahai Real Estate is there. The Addis, I think it's called Addis International Convention Center is there, like right on that roundabout. And then kind of straight down from there towards Summit, the area is just live at night. There are cigabates, like meat restaurants, ice cream, cafes, chicken, noodles, all kind of stuff. Like it's a great place to be. You can find anything you want, and I love that area. And so from the CMC roundabout, instead of going like down to Summit, if you go up, like left, you go straight to Ayat, which is 5 minutes from that roundabout. Ayat is great as well. I think it's being renovated like a lot of the other parts of the city. It's being redone. It's a really great area to live, especially if you have families. If you haven't heard, Addis Mender, which is in Ayat, around the Ayat roundabout, going towards Arbazateng, like going towards 49. Addis Mender is an amazing community. I haven't seen anything really like it in Addis Ababa. And so once, like the first time I went in there, I was like, wow, this feels like a different country. Not that Addis isn't beautiful, but like it's so peaceful and calm and green, whereas Addis can feel really kind of congested and chaotic sometimes. So I love that community in Ayat. So if you haven't, I have some videos on it and you can check them out on my channel. The neighborhood is called Addis Mender. So definitely check it out. And the reason why I say I love Ayat, CMC, and Summit is the food, the shopping, the neighborhood, and also if you have children, the majority of the international schools in Addis are located in the Summit area. So all three of those neighborhoods are close by if you're gonna, send your kids to international school. So yeah, thanks for asking that question. Okay, John C. Jr. said, do you help people buy land as a service? I personally don't do land when I do real estate because, like I said, it's just so complicated, and I don't want to be the reason that you lose money. Like even when I do real estate content and I show people properties and apartments, I'm very selective about what I show you and the companies I work with, like the real estate developers I partner with, because I've heard so many like sad horror stories of people investing in a project, and then the project is never completed and they don't get their money back. And so, I kind of stay away from things that can get really messy. But yeah, sorry, I wish I could help you. But if you're interested in buying land, I think the only way to do it is in person. The best way to do it. Somebody, observer said, by the way, I was watching your tour of Piazza YouTube video and love your Amharic. You do such a great job. Thank you. That means a lot. And I am going to have a lot more like neighborhood tours coming out. I think I'm going to do Arak Kilo next because there's a lot of new developments over there. And then Kasanchi. So let me know what neighborhoods you guys want to tour, because that is what I'm going to be working on here this week and over the next couple weeks. Burukai, why are apartments so expensive in Addis compared to Kenya with the same rental return? Are they more expensive? So that's what I used to think. And then there's a Black American friend of mine that I know in Kenya, and he has bought a couple apartments, he said, in Kenya. So he was asking me about the apartments in Addis and how much they cost. So I was telling him, and he said, oh, it's pretty similar to Kenya. So that surprised me because I thought Kenya was cheaper. But I do think it depends on the neighborhood, right? Apartments in Bole are going to be more expensive than, normal size apartments in Aya, for example. So I think it just depends. But Addis is generally more expensive than other African cities. I will admit that. How's Ethiopia? Hi, Jeff. Ethiopia is beautiful. I love it. It's rainy season right now, so it's a little cool, but still the weather isn't too bad. The people are great. The food is great. If you have some sort of income, like, basic income and a place to live, preferably your own house, you can live a really nice life in Ethiopia, for sure. Shemuel Nagash said, is it possible to buy apartment through auctions? I haven't heard of that. Are you talking about like government auctions? I do know the government does have land auctions. And so the way you might hear about that is through like local Ethiopian publications, like news outlets and things like that. They might announce an upcoming auction that you can attend and buy land. I haven't heard that for apartments. And obviously I do think it's in Amharic, so keep an eye out for that. Because I think that is a good and safe way to buy land, because the price is going to be fair and it's coming from the government, so you know that there's not going to be any funny business with the title deed. Okay, Jeff is a Black American. Hey brother, I also like Ethiopia. Have you been here before? Yeah, I like Ethiopia. I mean, I guess that means you have been here before, right? Because you're saying you like it too. Okay, cool. Habesha Media said, I think there is more demand. Addis population is expanding. More demand for apartments in Addis, or like, are you saying that's why the apartments are more expensive? I'm not sure. Addis Ababa Real Estate Marketing and Consultancy said there are house auctions listed on magazines. Okay, are the magazines online? Like, how would somebody in the diaspora or living abroad find out about it? And are the houses nice, good quality, or what? Oh, okay. Habesha Media said yes. Okay, yes. I would agree with that then. The demand is probably higher here than maybe in other places. Yes, Smoke. Ethiopia is beautiful, and the people are as well. Jeff said, "No, I haven't. I'm in America. I just like Ethiopia food and culture." Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I definitely agree because I think past, and this still might be true. The largest number of Ethiopians outside of Ethiopia are in like the DC area, the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. So I'm sure you've had a lot of exposure to Ethiopian culture and food in the U.S. I, being from Las Vegas, didn't have so much interaction with Ethiopians until I went to university in Washington D.C. But before that, in Vegas, no, I never had Ethiopian food. I didn't know that much. Okay, Shemuel Nagash said, "Is real estate in Addis Ababa stable?" Okay, and is the return worth the investment? Okay, because the local currency is falling sharply and do affect the return on investment, which areas recommend for investment in Addis? Okay, so first thing, is real estate in Addis stable? I would say it is relatively stable, but prices of houses, like single family homes, are decreasing. They are dropping in price. Apartments are not, because there is a high demand for apartments at this time and people are buying apartments. I've heard people are not buying houses as much, like single family homes. But I don't think that makes the market unstable. You know, like any real estate market, there's ups and downs. So and it hasn't fallen sharply in terms of like the price of housing, but it has fallen. Um, is the return worth the investment? It depends on where you invest. When it comes to real estate, location, location, location. So if you are looking to invest in a property for the purpose of renting it out or doing Airbnb, you want to do that in Bole, 100%. Everybody who visits Ethiopia from abroad, they stay in Bole for the most part. If you are investing for your own personal use, your personal property for the future, um, I would say CMC, Summit, and even IAT are good places to do that, specifically Addis Mender, because it is a kind of a luxury, high-end, and unique neighborhood. So that answers that. And local currency is falling, but I wouldn't say sharply. I would say over the last 3 to 4 months, it's kind of hovered around 130, you know, and the bank rate, 130 birr per dollar, 131, sometimes 128. Like, yeah, so I would say it's kind of hovering. And it only would affect the return on your investment if you are investing in dollars, right? So it could either boost your investment or significantly reduce it. Which areas do you recommend for invest? Okay, I already said that. Okay, Addis Ababa Real Estate Marketing and Consultancy. Okay, the Reporter magazine has an online option. They can get the auction from there. Good, thank you so much for giving us that information. So if anybody's interested in a government auction for land or houses, check out the Reporter magazine online. I can't vouch for it because I've never used it or seen it, but that's what Addis Ababa Real Estate Marketing said. Smoke. Oh! What? North Las Vegas, Summerlin, Nevada, I'm sorry, is where I used to stay. Now in Houston, Texas, about to move to Africa. I'm from Las Vegas, around the, maybe you said that because you knew that. I did mention that, so that could be why. But I'm from Las Vegas, around the Summerlin area. Like Northwest Las Vegas is where I grew up. Now you're in Houston and coming to Africa. Good, smart move. Time to get out of the US. Things are crazy over there. Habesha Media said, people are not buying a house anymore, maybe because of fear. Government always demolish housing projects and people fear. So they decide to stay on apartments, I think. Yeah, I would agree. I think that's true. Apartments are not as, well, a lot less likely to be destroyed because some of you may not know this, but the real estate developers get the land from the government. Sometimes the government gives the land to the developer in exchange for like several units or something like that. So they're not as likely to be demolished, which I think is why people feel safer investing in apartments. Shemuel Nagash said, there's news that the airport will move to new location by 2029. Oh, do you think it will affect the demand in Bole Kasanchi's properties? Wait a minute. I don't think the whole airport is moving. I think they are. Is that what you heard? That the whole airport is moving? I think that it was a second international location in and around like Deborah Zeit or something. So if it is a second location, I don't think it will affect Bole Kasanchi's properties much at all. In fact, I think it will create more demand around the new airport, you know, for people who want to travel to Deborah Zeit or Bishoftu area. But I don't think it will have a negative effect on Bole. Haba37 said, how is the crime rates and how are blacks from diaspora treated there? Good question. I don't know the specific crime rates. I haven't looked into that, but I personally feel safe in Addis. I think there is petty crime that happens here. You know, if you're not paying attention, you could get your phone stolen or, you know, things like that. But generally, it's safe, and I think crime rates are fairly low, especially if you play it cool. Don't be trying to act like a foreigner or diaspora, you know. Just be smart and try when you're traveling around the city, be vigilant. I would not be outside like super late, especially if you're alone. If you are going to be out, hang out with some local Ethiopians who can kind of watch your back. So yeah, I don't think I would worry about it. And how are blacks treated? So for the most part, when you're here, Ethiopians they're gonna assume that you're Ethiopian, right? I think they can tell like who's Ethiopian and who's not. But if everybody's kind of moving around and going about the city, like you don't stand out as a black person in Ethiopia, obviously. So you know, I think you'll be treated fine. But as soon as it becomes apparent that you're not an Ethiopian or that you're not local, you might get charged more for certain things. But I think that also happens to Ethiopian diaspora too, because people can tell that they're not local, that they're visiting, even though they're Ethiopian. So I don't think there's anything to be concerned about, like being mistreated, you know? And also if you are overcharged, like I did a video about this, about managing expectations, right? For us as Black Americans, when we come to Africa, we want to feel like we're returning home. These are our brothers and sisters. And for the most part, they are. But manage your expectations in a way that even if you get overcharged or, you know, maybe you don't feel like you're at home, just kind of understand that you're a foreigner. You are a foreigner. And then once you start learning the language and the culture, I think it's easier to kind of blend in, and Ethiopians are very warm and accepting, so it won't be hard to do that. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I missed some questions up here. Shemuel, you'll be blessed as well. You're very welcome. Okay, Smoke. Nope, never heard. Never heard of what? What did I say? Okay, how about 37? Are there places where you can learn the language as an adult? Yeah, absolutely. Do you mean here in Ethiopia? There are people who teach classes. Um, like you can find Amharic classes anywhere. The price is fairly fair. Um, and then online on YouTube, there are some YouTube channels where you can learn Amharic. And I would say when you're learning, start with the alphabet. I think that makes it easier to learn the language. Okay, Brooke said, did you see this news? Yes, my husband told me about that yesterday. Ashley Furniture just opened in Ethiopia with Yusra Home. I think that is amazing. I think it's amazing that more international brands are opening up here. Yeah, I think that's fantastic. There was a Ugandan YouTuber who claims his phone was stolen recently. Oh, really? Man. But again, I think that could happen anywhere, you know? I'll say this. Maybe I shouldn't say this, knock on wood. I have been in and out of Ethiopia since 2011, and I have never had a phone taken. Never. I've had, like, even at that time, I had a BlackBerry phone. I have an iPhone now. I've had the small Nokia phone. I've never had anybody take my phone, but I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because obviously it does happen, and it happens in the US too. But, you know, I'm sorry to hear that happened to him. Smoke. They do allow people out of the country to come to Ethiopia. Oh, I don't even think I can say that word. Can I say that on YouTube? They do allow that? I would consider it nothing to worry about. Very, very, very safe in Ethiopia. Yes, it is very safe. I didn't know that. Huh. But I don't see people carrying them around. I see police and military, but not citizens. So, Your Amharic is better than mine. Ease interactions. That is hilarious because I mean I can speak the basics and I can get by in conversation, but I doubt that mine is better than yours. Smoke. You said you mentioned you live. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did mention that. Habesha Media. By the way, even Habesha diasporas get overcharged. Yep. See, guys? If their citizenship is not in Ethiopia, it's not Ethiopian. Yeah. And I think too, like they don't even have to know where your citizenship is. So my husband is born and raised in Ethiopia. The first time he left this country is when we got married. Like, and when we used to come back and visit, people automatically can tell that he's a foreigner, like that he's diaspora. It's just, I think the people who live here and are locally here and here all the time, they know what the locals look like. And they know what the diaspora look like. They know what the foreigner look like. So even as Ethiopian born and raised, my husband, of course, blends in, but also stands out at the same time. So, yeah, I agree, Habesha Media, it's true. John C. Jr. said, is $350 a month for a mid-range studio, gated community, parking, 24/7 guards possible? What would you recommend? That is for a rent price. I would say that is low at this time for Addis Ababa. For all, maybe, okay, a studio you said. Okay, maybe a studio. Let me think. That would be about, how much in Burr? About 40,000 Burr, maybe? Okay, yeah, it's possible. Am I right, guys? Is that 40,000 Burr? Yeah, it's possible, but you might not be in the best area, and you're gonna have to like look to find it. I would say for that, for a studio, maybe bump it up to 500. If you want to be like, if you want to find like a nice studio, gated community, parking, and all that. 60,000. It's possible, but that's still kind of low. Addis is expensive. You might you might need to be in the $1,700 to $1,000 range, if I'm being completely honest. But I'm not saying you can't find it, but yeah. How about 37 said, is there community networking events for foreigners in Addis? If there is, I don't know about it. Nobody invited me. I don't know. I have no idea. I think, I try to keep it mostly local, like, with Ethiopian people. I don't really surround myself with foreigners. I think if you're gonna live here, you should immerse yourself in the culture and with the people. But with that said, I think on Facebook there might be some like foreigner groups, diaspora groups. So yeah, you can find it. Jeff, don't Ethiopia still have ethnic wars outside? Yeah, yes, there are still conflicts going on, mostly in the northern part of the country, but I don't think, at this time it's affecting Addis Ababa or, the southern part of the country, so, yeah. And yeah, I don't want to say too much on that, but it is safe. You can come and you'll be all right. Hi, it's me, Terza Marie. Hi, sister. I emailed you about some tips. We'll be coming with my 2 children in a few months for the first time. Did I respond to your email? Because you know what? There was an email that I read. And then so my husband and I both have access to that email account to answer questions. And so I went in to go back and answer your question because I saw it and I was like, I'll respond later. So I went in and it wasn't there anymore. So I was like asking him, did you delete an email? Or maybe I did by accident. So if that was you and I didn't respond, just can you send the email again? Sorry about that. And I will respond to you. Jeff, how does an Ethiopian born and raised in Ethiopia stand out? I know it's crazy, right? But I don't know if it's, I don't know. Like, I think when you live abroad for so long, I have no idea. I think it's a special talent that local Ethiopians have to be able to pinpoint diaspora. It must be. Habesha Media said, I think when we go back, we look we look light skinned because in the West it's cold. That is so funny. Our feature gets different a bit. That's how they know. That is so funny. Because you get light skin? Oh, that's funny. I got that from ChatGTP. Okay, ChatGTP is wrong about that. I'm glad you asked me. You need human advice. 350 is low. And also ChatGTP, maybe they're talking about like from the past. That would have been a good price before, but now, yeah, it's gone up for rent. Okay, Tears of Marie. We are oops. Sorry, what did I do? We are testing the water and may stay for a long while. We'll be looking for gym, sports for kids, and language teachers. Okay. Definitely. I think if you are considering relocating back to Ethiopia, you definitely want to test it out first, see if you like it, see if it works for you and your family. How's hubby? Hey, Rio. He's doing well. He was on here earlier. You missed him. He came to say hi. Great live. Sorry for my broken speech. I'm doing multiple. Oh, no, you're fine. Nobody, I can read it. Cascade Analog. Hey, I know you. Princess, so lovely to see you live. Hey. Shemuel Nagash. There are many people who are not recommending to buy from the developers. They say to buy only finished properties because of delayed deliveries. Are you promoting some projects? Any advice? Yeah, I did mention that earlier. I'm very selective about the developers that I choose to work with. And I have been approached by several of them, and I won't name them, but I've actually declined to work with some of them because of their reputation of not finishing on time, and not even on time, like not finishing at all. There are people that are still waiting like 4, 5, 7 years later for a property that they paid for in full, and trying to go through the legal system to get their money back, and it's just not working. So you can work with developers on unfinished projects, but you have to do your research and choose the right ones. Um, right now, I am working with Addis. They are a share company, and they are building luxury villa style apartments in Ayat, and it's in a gated community with 24/7 security, sidewalks, paved roads, safe for children, close to restaurants and schools. Like it's amazing, and they have already it's being constructed now. But that's when I felt safe getting behind because they've built 3 G+9 buildings with their own money. They didn't wait for people to give money, and they've also secured funding from the bank, so they will finish. So I was comfortable to partner with them, and I do have a few projects coming up with gift real estate. So be on the lookout for that. I can't vouch for any of the other ones because those are the 2 that I'm working with right now. So yeah, the only downside to buying a finished property though is that you have to pay, usually you have to pay 100% upfront because the property is already done. Whereas if you buy an in progress property under construction, you can usually pay over time by progress of the building. So it's not too much of a financial burden up front. You can kind of pay over time. That's my advice on that. Okay, yes, please reach back out, Tears and Marie. Sorry about that. Cascade Analog said, Princess, do you have any videos following on your house construction? Follow up. So somebody did ask about that earlier. I don't have any videos follow up on that right now. So we've built the ground level, the first floor, and the second floor. The roof is finished. All the exterior walls and interior partitions are finished. I don't know if I did a video of a walkthrough of our house. Maybe I could do that. But right now, all we have left is like the finishing, and that's the most expensive part. So, and we are doing this out of pocket. You know, we don't have a loan or anything, so it takes time. But keep praying for us, guys, that we'll finish it. Havish Amida said, also, our accent changes. Oh, okay. The way we dress up, act is different, so it's noticeable. That I would agree with. I'm going to wear an act head to toe local. Right. That's what you should do if you want to blend in. Just, act local. And put your accent back to how it was. Don't try to talk with an American accent or European accent or something like that. My husband already purchased a home in the Kofe Quran area in Addis. Are you familiar with that area? I am. Kofe. Okay, so I think, is that going over towards like Asco? Asco and what else is over there? It's escaping my mind, but I think it is towards that area. And it's green. I think it's a little far outside the city. But actually, yeah, since Addis is expanding, nothing is really that far anymore, So yeah, I think it's good. Sounds like a scam waiting years for. I know it is a scam. It is a scam. I mean, that's really all you can call it. People who invested their money in a property and the developer never finished and has no signs of finishing got scammed, and that is very sad. And I'm so sorry for those people. Like, man. What is your input? I want to buy a condo, but with all the construction and upscaling the qualities, I want to wait a little bit until they start building Western Standard. Western Standard in terms of what? Because I think a lot of the new developers are building high quality, luxury style apartments. Obviously, there are still some that are lower quality, but there are some amazing properties already available. But you could wait. The price might go up though if you wait too long. It's like 30 or 40 minutes from the airport. Oh, okay. See, yeah. That southwest side. Southwest. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm familiar with that area. Um, it's not bad, you know. I think if you're inside of Addis, it's good. The price was probably decent over there, so. Mm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Addis Ababa real estate. I 100% agree with you. Do your research, guys, on the track record and integrity of these real estate companies. Um, yes, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Do not get distracted by the price discounts alone, right? Work with a reliable real estate consultant. I couldn't agree more, which means that I agree 100% because um, a lot of people, so some of the apartments that I've seen, people will say, oh, it's too expensive. Why is it so expensive? That's too expensive for that area. But you get what you pay for. Like 100% you get what you pay for. There are some real estate developers that are selling apartments for a low cost, right? With discounts and everything. But you're buying a box. Like you're buying a box. And somebody was telling me they visited a certain developer and they toured the apartment and the bathroom didn't have a window in it and the quality looked poor and you get what you pay for. I mean, if your only goal is to be like central around like Kasanchis or Bole or something, then okay, then that might be fine, but you might not be happy with the quality of your apartment, just I mean, that is true. Don't be distracted by the price discounts. Exactly. Because even with the price discounts, you're still spending a lot of money, right? So you want to make sure that you're spending your hard-earned cash, the money that you worked to get, that you worked to save. Like I'm from the U.S. I know money doesn't grow on trees. We work very hard, weekends, overtime, all that. You don't get as much time with your family. And then you get this money that you've saved over years, and then you put it into something that is going to require that you're not going to be happy with, that's going to require a lot of maintenance and upkeep. So it's not worth it. I think if you're going to make that type of investment, do your research, buy something that is nice, buy something in a good area that you like, that is good quality, and that's going to last. Because later on, when you try and sell that property, other people they're not going to want to buy it. So, yeah, good advice. It's near, okay, I do know Sabata, if I'm spelling that correctly. Yep, you spelled it correctly. I do know that area. Yeah. I mean, so what do you, I think that, is it, you said, wait, did he buy a house or did he buy land and build a house? If it's a house that you guys like and you're comfortable in, that's okay. But the area does matter. And I think my preference would be, some neighborhoods that I like in Addis Ababa, okay? I like CMC, I like Summit, I like Ayat, I like, what is that? I like Lebu, which is on the other side of the city. Kasanchis has changed a lot. It's getting better. And I do like Bole, but it's very expensive. I'm talking about places that I think are maybe like fair in price and, nice places to live. Gemo's not bad. It's kind of crowded, but Gemo's okay. Yeah. And then so where our house is, it's in a newer part of Addis, not far from Lebu, Haile Garment. It's kind of in Shagar City, but I think it's going to be, really nice area, really beautiful, and it is being constructed by the government's master plan, so we don't have to worry about things getting destroyed and torn down, stuff like that. Okay. Are my kids starting to speak I think you meant Amharics fluently. They are, they're learning. They're learning. They learn a lot. So they go to an international school. So they learn, their education is in English, but they learn a lot from family and from, neighborhood friends and stuff like that. So yeah, they're doing great. Yep, Jeff, I just worked 6 days straight in a warehouse. Finally got a day off. You see? That's what I'm talking about. Life in America is not easy. We work hard to get that money, and you want to invest it in the right things. Okay, yes, it's a house, and they have renovated it and still renovating. Okay, so yeah, if you're happy with the house, I think then it's a good investment for you. Hi, Miss Fitsu. It's something he and his brother and cousins agreed to. So I'm just coming to a ready place for the first time. Okay. Have you seen the house? Do you like it? Tisra? Miss Fitsoon. Thumbs up to you too. Yeah, if you like the house, it should be fine. Okay, Shemuel Nagash. As investment around Bole or Kasanchis, how many bedrooms recommended to buy? 1, 2, or 3? For short term, like for Airbnb, I would say 2 bedroom is good. 1 bedroom in Bole is hard to find. You might find it in Kasanchis. Did you fear? Also, because people sometimes travel with others, like maybe as a family, I think having an extra bedroom is good. So 2. Did you fear being homesick moving to a new country? No, I didn't, because Ethiopia isn't new for me. I've been here since 2011, in and out. I served here as a Peace Corps volunteer in the rural part of Ethiopia. So Ethiopia for me is like a second home. Yes, it's easy on the Waira and has fruit trees. So that's a dream for me. Okay, good. Oh, then I'm happy for you. Oh, easy on the eyes. Yeah, nice. Hi, Tedros. How are you? Thanks for joining the live. Yay. I'm excited for you. 10 and 8 are good ages, especially to move from somewhere else to Ethiopia. They're still young enough and adaptable enough to like it here, and to make friends and not feel sad about leaving where they were. I think probably beyond like 12 years old and older, it might get difficult for children just because they're starting to plant roots and have friends, and might feel sad about leaving them behind. So 10 and 8 are good ages. Our kids are 10, 6, and 4. But our 6-year-old's turning 7 in a couple months. What's your favorite thing about Ethiopia that you might not see that's rare in the States? Oh, okay, that you might not see or that's rare in the States. One thing that you don't see a lot of in the States is all the fresh fruit and fruit trees. I think that is one of my favorite things here. What else is here that might be rare or you don't see in the States? My husband's in here, so. What do you think? The simple life?
Simplicity.
Yeah, so he said the simplicity of life. I mean, I guess that is rare in the US these days.
I'm back, everyone. So I was handling some situation with the boys, so
Somebody asked about you.
I'm here. I'm doing great. I'm here. Well and alive.
What do you think CMC IAT construction is that a good apartment to live? Wait.
What
What?
do you think about CMC or IA construction
Okay.
in general?
So I mean, I love CMC. I think IAT is also very good. There are some good apartments there in IAT. If you haven't heard of Addis, check out a couple of my videos. I think that is, for me, the #1 community that I've seen in Addis Ababa in terms of just overall quality, the green areas, the walking paths, the safety, play areas for children. I love that neighborhood. That's like my favorite neighborhood. And there are some brand new, like luxury style apartments that are being built in that community. They are among, if not the largest apartments that you'll find in Addis Ababa. It's 277 square meters net of the apartment size. And if you're gonna live in an apartment, why not live in a big one, right? So it doesn't feel like cramped apartment living. Other places in CMC, like I think Sahai Real Estate, I was just gonna say that they have nice apartments and also a nice community as well.
Yeah.
For sure. What do you think? Any other?
I know IA.
Also, gift real estate, also building in
Gifted,
IA area as well. So
But as my wife mentioned it, if you're gonna buy apartment,
I think you have to buy something nice. A lot of them are actually just
more about just making money, and like sometimes they have 7 or 8 people on the same floor. The cars are very small, from like 60 to maybe 140.
Yeah.
That's usually is not even the net.
that's the gross. That means they including the common area, like the elevators and the stairs and the lobby, and all of that's also included. So
As my wife mentioned it, Addis is one of the best that we have seen so far. Some of actually our
buyers actually said a lot of African Union workers and the AU and other NGO workers, one of the most complaint is in Ethiopia is
the amount of money they pay and the amount of
space they live in an apartment is not the same.
what that means is they paying, like, the apartments are very small comparing to the amount of money they pay.
So like sometimes they charge $4,000, $5,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment in Bole.
And they say you can get a very large space in Kenya, or if you go to Uganda, than Ethiopia. So
Right. Yeah.
we here the luxury and the spacious is not really that much. Most of the developers, it's more about how many people I can put in one place and make money from them. Because
Right.
that's really
Yeah, it's true.
not the right mindset to me.
It's true. I agree. Addis Ababa real estate, yes. CMC, IAT, and Summit are definitely good residential areas. I agree. If you're thinking of investing for your own personal home, those are excellent areas. Rio says salam. He that person asked where you were. That's what asked.
I'm here.
He said Tenesteling. Huh? Betsawut. Thank you for information, specifically those who live USA. Yeah, for sure. Definitely happy. That's kind of why, we started this channel, to help people, Ethiopian diaspora, or just anybody interested in coming to Ethiopia, returning to Ethiopia, just kind of giving information and letting you guys know how things are here and what life is like. Okay. What does it say? Do you ever go back to the States to visit family? Yeah, of course. And is it challenging to travel back and forth from Ethiopia or Africa in general as a tourist? Any tips if so? Wait. Back and forth as a tourist?
We don't really know about other part of Africa, but in Ethiopia, I think usually you get the visa on arrival. So I think that should be, I don't think so it's that challenging coming to Ethiopia and staying in Ethiopia.
Yeah, if you have a U.S. passport.
Correct.
Yeah, it's not hard to travel back and forth.
Yeah.
Boni Kwam said salam. Does that say salam? No. We definitely appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much. we appreciate you guys too. Thank you for watching and supporting us on our journey. Jency Jr. said, is there a saturation of Airbnb businesses? How easy is it for foreigners to start a business in Ethiopia? Um, I don't think the Airbnb market is oversaturated. So from what I've seen on Airbnb, there's room for improvement. In Addis, I think, you know what I mean? Like some better quality apartments could be on there. And I think if you're one of them, you would attract a lot of people to book your site. So that we're both in it.
I'm definitely in it.
And then, what was the other? Oh, about starting a business.
For foreigners.
So starting a business is easy. Like we've actually started too. And so it's not hard to register it. That part is easy. But the hard part is the capital, right? Like having the capital that you need to run it, to maintain it. But yeah, registering the business is not hard. For a foreigner though, I think you have to have a minimum of a $200,000 USD investment. In order to invest in business, or 150,000 if you partner with the local Ethiopian, right?
Also now the foreigners also they can buy properties
Yeah.
as well. It used to be only business before, but they can actually buy a house now. But the amount they spend has to be 150,000
Yeah.
or more.
Right, on the property.
Yes.
Habeshan Media, do you think it's good to buy under a family name?
If you really trust them, I would say if you really trust your family, yeah. But if not, I think I would say probably it's better to put your name on, especially if you're making a big purchase,
In
Yeah.
the house and land, stuff like that.
you know.
I agree.
So
Okay, Bonnie. Please, when will you both make a whole documentary on the process for foreigners to acquire non-movable a documentary, a land and lease? So it's very simple, from my understanding. Like you, as a foreigner, can buy land, or sorry, not land, property, unmovable. I mean,
non-movable.
sorry.
Yeah.
You, as a foreigner, can buy movable property in Ethiopia, and the minimum price of the property has to be 150,000 USD.
Yeah. I mean, the law just passed by government. So, when as a foreigner, when you
Come to Ethiopia, and of course you have to go through the process, and you have to go to government offices and show probably
your finances and all of
that stuff. Probably they're gonna require you to send the money if you have dollars or
euro. Probably you have to go through, the bank channel and the depositing to the commercial bank of Ethiopia, and just kind of follow the paperwork. So I think the government need the foreign currency and also
investors, encouraging investors as well. So the economy is growing. I think that's why they passed this
this law. I think, especially if you are the first, usually it can be easier. Usually in Ethiopia, it's easier when you do first. As you get later on,
Yeah.
it might get harder.
So
That's true.
if you're really thinking about investing or buying
Do it
in
early.
Ethiopia, I think the better is doing it early.
Yeah. I agree. Jasmine, how's your personal home building journey going? Is it finished? Yep. So a couple of people have asked this. Our home building journey is going well. We are building it out of pocket, so it takes time. But we're building a G+2 house, so we've finished the ground level, the first floor, the second floor, the roof, all of the external walls, and the internal partitions. So all that's left to do now is the finishing, which is the most expensive part. So we're taking our time with that. But yeah, because we want it to be how we like it,
Yeah.
a high quality home. So in order to do that, it requires more money. So yeah.
Yeah. Also, the area is growing. Still, a lot of people are kind of building, not
But moved in, so we're just gonna, as my wife just mentioned, taking our time and finishing slowly. And when the area is warm and everybody start living, and we'll be moving into it slowly. So you guys hopefully will stay one
Yeah.
day.
Right. I was thinking maybe to do a tour, like through the house, Like
Maybe.
just yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
Okay, so
Maybe we'll start working on it.
yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
And Miss Fitsum said, what were your main reasons for moving to Ethiopia?
Do you want to start it?
Yeah, so I think our main reasons for coming back here are just one, the slower, simpler quality and style of life. Two, allowing our children to be exposed to their own culture and history because they are half Ethiopian. And I think it is a good environment to raise children in. And three, for entrepreneurial reasons, I think it is easier to be an entrepreneur here in Ethiopia than it is in the countries that are already fully developed because there are still a lot of new ideas and new opportunities that exist here and in other countries in Africa. Whereas like in the US or Canada or Europe, the barriers to entry are higher, right? You need more income. There's a lot more competition. Whereas here, you can kind of be the first in some areas. So those are the three main reasons I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree 100%.
Do you have anything to add on that?
No, I think this is, you nailed it. That's true. Especially for the boys. I think for me, we have 3 children, and I want them to kind of grow up and having the Ethiopian culture, in their heart, God fearing. Just I grew up in certain ways when I was here, and I don't want them to lose that. So that's one of the reasons.
Right. And, of course, we don't have to stay forever. We can choose to leave at some point. The children can leave, when they get older. They were born in the U.S. and they are U.S. citizens. So they, when they get older, if they decide to go somewhere else, they can.
Yeah.
But I think for their childhood and upbringing, Ethiopia is a wonderful place to raise them.
Also for us, just life. We both worked really in the United
States over sometimes 80 hours, 90 hours, and
Yeah.
we didn't even have a chance to spend time with our children. We just keep going. It's just like what's that called, the hamster wheel. It's just like we keep going. We didn't have enough time to spend with them. So we wanna come out. We're gonna break this cycle.
Right.
And say, you know what? Let's do something different than the same life.
Yeah.
How can we spend more time together as husband and wife? How can we spend more time with our children?
Yeah.
What's that quality of life if I'm working until 67, 68? And I retire, and I'll die 10 years later. We didn't want that. So
Right.
we want to try something. It's not easy, by the way.
No.
It's not easy to leave the job behind. We both used to make a lot of money. It's not easy to do those things. We don't recommend people to leave your jobs and move to Ethiopia or somewhere else. We don't recommend that. I think it's important to come from the heart. It's not easy to do the transitioning, but I think sometimes we just got to the point, what? Let's try something different.
Yeah.
Because you can't do the same thing, expect different result.
So we say if you want a different result, we have to do something different, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and here we are.
Okay, Bonnie, it's not simple. LOL. Doesn't come with restrictions. Wait, doesn't it come with restrictions in terms of acquiring the funds strictly from foreign and not local banks? I think you're talking about starting a business. It's not simple to start a business.
No.
It's what I was saying is it's easy to register it. It's not simple to start a business anywhere. But
Usually to get the
Paperwork. You start with 15,000 Ethiopian birr.
Yeah.
To get the licensing, and here then you have to have
around, depends on, it's just like the paperwork depends on your rent. Let's say if you're renting the business place for $10,000, the corporate, you should have an initial deposit, and your business account has to be more than what you're paying for your rent. And so you have to have the initial deposit, things like that, and you can start it. It's easy to get those paperwork. It might take you maybe a week so
yeah.
to get the paperwork, maybe 2 weeks. but as my wife mentioned, it's the capital.
Yeah.
You know, after you
That's the part. That's
after
the
you
hard
got
part.
your
PLC, you know, or your business license.
do I have enough capital to start the business that you want to start?
Mm-hmm. If you purchase a property under your name, do you pay tax for Ethiopian government or foreign government? No, you would pay for the Ethiopian government.
For Ethiopian government.
Oh, you're saying if you buy it as a foreigner? But still, you don't pay it to a foreign government.
Yeah, you pay it in Ethiopia, so you have to pay to Ethiopian government.
Okay, Iced Coco says, hi, Iced Coco.
Hello.
Svitsun, do you share with your children both of your cultures and traditions? Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
We teach them both.
Bonnie, absolutely right. I am on my 40-minute break and texting you both while trying not to clock in late. Exactly. Yeah. That is the
There you go.
hamster wheel, the rat race in America. We're very familiar with that.
Yeah, we lived it.
Uh-huh. And it's funny because people here don't understand like
Yeah.
the life in America and how hard you work, and it's not living. You're not living. You're just.
Yeah.
But that's what we recommend to people. If you're in the U.S., use it to your advantage, or not just the U.S. Like if you're in a Western country, America, somewhere in Europe or Canada, use it to your advantage. Don't focus on building life there. Focus on like just be narrow in your focus in I'm here to get money so that I can invest back home in Ethiopia
Yeah.
or somewhere in Africa. Like I'm here to get money. Like live as simply as you can, save as much as you can, and invest here.
That's the key.
You know, because
Absolutely.
otherwise, like he was saying, if you're gonna work and retire at 67 or maybe 70, I think they raised the retirement age or something, and then not have anything to show for it, because you're just working, running so hard on that hamster wheel, paying for your mortgage or your rent, paying your car note, paying your child care expenses, buying these expensive groceries that are full of chemicals anyways, and like just keep going, and then you reach 60 and you're like, I don't even have anything saved to invest in Ethiopia. I can't even afford to buy land or to invest in a property. Like, don't get to that point. Right now, while you're still young, while you're still working, save what you can and keep investing at home. So that by the time you reach retirement age or even before then, you have a property already here that's generating income for you until you're ready to move here or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Oops, that was insightful. Thank you. You're very welcome. Lovely. Hello, Abaji. Abaja. Abishani, yeah, exactly. You know how it is. Sorry. AJ, hello, princess. Just got here. How is the construction of your home coming along? Do you plan to make a video update? How are you guys doing? I know you guys want to see the house. AJ, I was just laughing because I think you're the fourth person to ask about it, but it's going well. We're building it out of our own pocket, so it takes time, right? But we are building a G+2, as you know. We finished the ground level, first level, second level, and the roof, and all the exterior walls and interior partitions. So it's going well. I was thinking of doing like maybe a walkthrough tour of the layout of our home, but my husband was saying maybe like once we pick up, once we start up again, then maybe that's when we'll, show you guys a tour of the house, and then, the finishing work, because that's next. So
Yeah, also it's the rainy season in Ethiopia now.
yeah.
So we can't even bring construction materials like sand and cement and stuff like that.
Jeff, how did you all meet? Story time.
That'll be next time.
Yeah, we'll have to do a different story time.
That'll be next time.
Long story short, though, I came here in 2011 as a Peace Corps volunteer, not knowing anybody or really anything about Ethiopia. My site was in rural Ethiopia, in the western part of Ethiopia called Welega. And that is where I got placed. He was living in Welega, but he's not from there. He was there working with a local NGO, non-government organization. And so the compound that Peace Corps arranged for me or rented for me was actually in the same compound where he lived. So he was actually the first person I met, and the rest is history. We'll have to do a real story time, but that's how we met. We were both like 22, 23 years old at the
Yeah.
time, and kids. I still can't believe I came to Ethiopia at 22, and was placed in the rural area. Like, it's still amazing to me, but it was by God's will that we met. So yeah, I'll have to give you a more in-depth story later, guys. Habesha Media. I moved to the West 14 years ago. I just finished college. Oh, or at 14, I finished college, and I'm 100% interested to invest in Ethiopia. I woke up at a young age. Good for you.
Yeah.
Life never changes, always complaining. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're at the perfect stage, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
To start your career, and you're literally at the perfect
Yep.
time in your life.
Yeah.
Like, start your career, make your money, and invest at home, here in Ethiopia, of course. And don't focus on like buying big house and cars and stuff in the U.S. because it's
No.
not necessary.
Absolutely.
The real value is having something here.
Yeah.
So good for you. New Ethiopia said, "Can you say something about the yellow card and its advantages to invest in Ethiopia?" So, are you Ethiopian, living abroad? Like, are you part of Ethiopian diaspora? If so, you do need a yellow card if you no longer have Ethiopian citizenship. And that gives you all the same rights as local Ethiopians with the exception of voting. But you can buy property, you can work.
All of it.
You can get the FIDA digital ID card, which you're going to need to do business and do anything, in the country.
It's
So,
like a
FIDA ID is like it serves like a social security number,
yeah.
like in the United States.
So definitely get that.
You
100%.
need the yellow card first.
Yes.
You have to get yellow card before FIDA, because you have
to have a yellow card before you get FIDA.
Don't forget that.
That's the key.
Yeah. You can get in trouble if you try to do the FIDA first and then get the yellow card.
Correct.
Yellow card first and then FIDA.
Correct. Also, you don't pay visas.
Visas and stuff like that. Coming to Ethiopia or leaving. If you have yellow card, it'll give you this all right, as my wife mentioned, except voting.
Yeah. I think the price when we did it was $200 per person for adults.
And $20 for children, I believe.
Yeah. And now the last I heard is that it might be up to $300 or $400 per adult.
I know.
But
I
you
heard
can
it went
check.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, you can check their website. I think it's called, I don't know, ICS.
Yeah, IOC something. Immigration Office, Customs something. I can try to figure it out, but yeah.
Okay. Or if you send me an email, I can send you the link for it. Have you been to Hawassa or Gondar? No, neither one. So is Gondar safe at this time to go? But yes, I do want to visit both. Yeah.
Definitely Awasa is
It's safe.
Is the next one we
think about visiting.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you guys will see us. in
That's
this
right,
maybe
Rio.
video.
God's plans. That's
Yeah.
right. Miss Fitzum, how did you choose your home interior design? Did you have your own vision or ideas from Pinterest? So we didn't Pinterest like in terms of like furniture and like wall decor and stuff like that, or lighting. Like we haven't started that part yet. But in terms of the layout of the home, we
Yeah.
basically designed it with our engineer
correct.
to be the flow and layout that we wanted for
Yeah.
our house.
That's one thing here. When you guys, or if you plan to build a house,
Most of engineers, they just kind of give you their own thing. Like they don't have like the West American or home the designs. So they just kind of like they don't.
really know, like they know it, but they don't they don't have the same taste that the Western do. So make sure you guys have like kind of work closely with the engineers,
Yeah.
because we did ours. Like we have to made a lot of modification to our house in terms of the open kitchen, what we want the living room, and how we want the bathrooms and walk-in closet and all of that stuff. So
Yeah.
that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Good question. Great question.
Exactly. Okay. Do you know how to say this name?
None of your business, I believe.
Oh!
I believe in Ethiopia.
Okay, Nanya business.
I think so.
That makes so much sense. That's probably right. I was struggling with that one. Okay. They say couples resemble each other. You two resemble each other as well. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's very sweet. They do say that. I think the longer you're together, the more you start to look alike.
That's true.
You know who this is, right? Abigail.
Abigail, nice to see you. Nice to see you too, Abigail.
New Ethiopia. Thanks, guys. You're welcome. AJ, where do you recommend to buy finishing or interior materials in Ethiopia? There's a lot of places.
I think most of them they are in, I believe in Kasanchis. A lot of them are. If you want to buy it directly yourself, but also you can, if you want to work with interior designers, there are a couple that we know. You just choose it, and they will buy it and bring to your house, and they can do the interior designing for you as well. So,
Yeah.
But most of them, I think they're located in, I think Sanchez.
Maybe Piazza.
Yeah, I think most of them are more in Sanchez, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be a website that shows fixed prices. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
No.
it's best to shop in person.
It changes every day, especially import materials.
Yeah.
So because of the dollar fluctuates, also the price changes too. Like they might be, $100 today, it could be 110 tomorrow, or it might be 90. It changes. So due to the dollar fluctuation, so you might not get a fixed price.
Yeah. In terms of a breakdown of prices for finishing materials, we don't have that. But, once we start working on our house again, we'll make sure that we are documenting each step so you guys can see the process and also the costs. So we'll let you guys know for sure. I buy the Takumi. Is it better to build a rental or to open a business first? I mean, the rental is kind of a business, right? Like, if you're going to be using it for income. I would say, since it's easier to start generating income, maybe the rental is better to do first.
Yeah, so like building a house, that's what you're saying?
Yeah, what do you mean, like a house or a commercial rental for like businesses to rent from you? That's a good option too.
Yeah, especially if you're building like house, like stores or house for Airbnb, I would definitely recommend you to do that because whatever house is always in Ethiopia has value, no matter what. Once you have your house, even if in the future if you want to start your own business, you can still live in the house while you are running your business, so you don't have to, or you can rent a different house, and the house that you rented out to someone can cover your rent in your rental house, and you can still run your business. So I think building your own house first, I think the first way to go. But if you think your business can generate enough income, like it can generate a lot of money, you can start business, and once the businesses start making money, you can also build your house as well. Like you have to kind of weigh out which one is better. Is my business I have can make enough money for me to start building my rental property, or is better for you to build first and rent that out, and you can start the business later on.
Yeah. Okay. Ms. Fitsu, how has your sense of belonging and identity changed since moving? Mine or his? Your sense of belonging.
It didn't change it since moving. Is that for me?
I don't know, but you can answer it.
Moving to Ethiopia.
Yeah, I think for me.
Let's go. You go first. Yeah.
I definitely feel like more of a sense of belonging here amongst other people who are also Black, but even now more so that I speak more of the language. That has helped. I think, yeah. I find that in the U.S., like where racism exists and people might look down on you because of the color of your skin, like that doesn't happen here. So that definitely gives you, a new sense of comfort and belonging as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for
What do you
me,
think as an Ethiopian?
yeah, for me,
Um,
I think, I lived in the United States for 10 years. Even though I lived there, I know a lot of things. I have done a lot of things, but I never felt
100% home.
There's always something missing because no, I wasn't born there. It's different when you're born to a country and when you go into the country. So when you come here, this is home. This is my country.
Mhm.
I know the people.
I know the language, I know the food, I know the in and out, I know how to talk to. I think
So it's for sure it's easier for me. Also, it's a lot of eye opening for me as well. Like the difficult part for me is here. People like as Ethiopian, something me I didn't notice in the past. Maybe I lived in the United States for a while, and when I came back, people say people don't respect time. People don't like you don't when they call you and you call them. Hey, I'll come tomorrow.
and you wait all day, nobody shows up. They don't call you back. They don't say I'm sorry, and then those things like come on. So I think that show people don't manage their time. They don't respect their time, so they don't respect your time as well. So those things kind of irritate you sometimes. Like coming back from the west and they say, "What? I was waiting for you. The whole day.
Yeah, you told me you were
You
gonna
told me you're
come.
gonna come." So people a lot here say, "I'll call you. I'll be there," and people don't do it. I think in
Yeah.
the past was better. It became worse now. That's something that I really noticed.
And it just kind of I didn't like it
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah, that I would say that is one of the
Yeah.
disappointing things, but it happens. Okay. Somebody said your new house view is scenic. The
The size.
the sights, the hills, and the view are epic. The boys will certainly have more than enough space to run around and jump around. Yes. I that's the number one thing I love about that area, especially like when you build up. There's hills kind of around the house, and I love the view of the hills, the greenery. The air is cleaner there, and yes, there's space for the kids. So I love it.
Yep, absolutely.
Mhm.
I agree.
Biniam said hi. Hi, Biniam.
Okay.
AJ, is Airbnb possible and legal in Ethiopia, and would you recommend it as opposed to renting a property for a long time? If you can get a renter for a long time, I would say that's preferable to Airbnb.
Airbnb is more expensive.
Yeah, Airbnb is going to be more expensive because you have fees and things to pay, and so you're going to have to charge the renter more. So a long-term renter is better if you can get it,
Absolutely.
and Airbnb is legal in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Miss Fitsum, for answering your
Of
question.
course.
All right, we've been on here
Yeah.
a long time now.
All right. Let's bring more questions. One, two, or three.
If not,
If not, we'll see you guys in the next
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 one.
vlog.
Right.
Right.
Any questions? One. I'm just kidding.
Let us know. If not,
yeah, one thing really, when we were in the United States, we didn't have any help. Like we didn't have anyone to ask. I think that's the one reason we moved here. So you know what? Let's help our brothers and sisters. Who really need help. So,
AJ said, is Shopify possible in Ethiopia? I don't think they deliver like Shopify, spread.
Spread and
What was it called? Spread.
Spread shop.
Spread shop. Yeah.
Printful and Printfy. So I mean, you can run those things from Ethiopia.
Right, but
Like
they
if
don't
you-
ship to Ethiopia.
Yeah, but you can still take the orders.
and stuff like I have like
Spread shop account that I have
sweaters and stuff like that we run
and we don't. People can go buy it.
online.
Mhm.
Also, the spread, the company will take care of it.
By the way, the merch on my YouTube channel. If you guys go on my YouTube shop, he designed it. So that if
Yeah.
you guys buy it, you're supporting us, you're supporting his design. So
Yeah. Kingdom driven.
yes, I actually
Please buy it. You like them. You guys would like them.
I have a sweatshirt somewhere, but
Yeah, I don't know where it
and a
is.
t-shirt. It's good quality stuff, especially if you're in like I think the U.S., Canada, maybe Europe.
Yeah.
If you're in Ethiopia, you can't order it unfortunately, but yeah, definitely. Y'all are so cute. Thank you.
That's me.
Hi, it's me, Tizra Marie. That's cute. That's a cute name, actually.
Yeah.
Bonnie said, "Thanks, guys. Greetings to the boys. Yes, we'll send them your greetings. What are some of the misconceptions about healthcare there?" I think the biggest misconception is that you can't find good healthcare.
That's true.
You can, you know, you can find good doctors, good. All the pharmacies have, you know, the medications you need.
Yeah.
So you know, you'll be fine. There are private hospitals and private clinics.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are plenty now. There are great
Yeah.
doctors.
Physicians. Yeah. That's
So that's not a concern.
correct.
Tizra Marie, may God's protections forever be with you guys. Thank you so much. God bless you, Tizra Marie, as well. Is there Amazon in Ethiopia? No.
No.
No Amazon deliveries. You have to probably send it to somebody that you know is coming to Ethiopia soon, and they can bring it for you.
Right.
AJ, thank you for answering all of my questions. It really helps a lot. You're so welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
Thank you.
joining the
Yeah.
live and for asking the questions. What would be the best hospital or one you would recommend in Ethiopia?
Like for
So I
For
know
children?
what was that one, Miss Grace? Wait,
Macros?
Mekres is a good hospital.
That's the thing. It's in almost. I think in Kasanchis.
In Kasanchis. Also, a lot of women like
Grace
Grace Hospital for maternal
is in
care
It's in
and
Bole.
delivery.
Also hold the Korea Hospital.
Yeah, the Korean hospital has a good reputation.
Yeah.
Also, isn't there a Swiss one?
I believe so.
Also, there's American Clinic
Yeah.
as well. There are good ones.
You know, they might charge you a little bit more,
Mhm.
but they are good clinics and hospitals out there.
Yeah. There is AliExpress in Ethiopia. Okay, good.
There is? Okay.
Jinsi Jr. That should help answer your question. AliExpress
Mm,
is similar. I think.
Part of Alibaba, I think? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
It
if
is
that's
part of
it.
Alibaba.
Okay.
So I guess it is similar to Amazon, but
Just Chinese
it's
owned.
Chinese owned. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there will be in the future.
Right. That's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, it is part of Alibaba.
Okay.
Nice. All right, guys. I think we are going to jump off of here.
Thank you
Get
guys
our
so
children
much.
in the bed.
I have my.
Oh, you did?
Okay. They are good. Okay. There you go.
Perfect. See?
Okay. Good to
So
hear.
yeah, there's plenty of options for hospitals and healthcare and all of that.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be afraid, especially here in Addis.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We'll be happy to come on here and do maybe like once a week. We can do lives like Wednesday. And then, like I said, I'm going to be doing more real estate content and more vlogging content as well.
Yeah.
So keep watching. Thank you so much, Abai. Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate your support, everybody. Appreciate you as well, Jinsi Jr. Thank you so much. Nice to see you as well.
Christmas week, Mike.
I wish to
Okay,
hear.
so, it's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I am.
Thank you.
On behalf of my wife.
I wish you the best. Thank you. God bless all of you guys. Have a good night. You're welcome. See you guys.
Thank you guys.
Bye bye. Thank you.